Hi, welcome to this week's Dragonblade Authors Unplugged. I'm so excited I get to talk to Matilda, Madison, and Maeve Greyson this week. Ladies, thanks so much for taking the time.
Hi, thanks for having us.
It's good to be here.
We actually have 4 releases this week. Sandra Suko has a Lion's Den book release, and Marie Higgins had one of the Worthington Legacy books release. So I'll make sure I pop the links for those in the comments along with all the other books, but we'll catch up with them at a future time. So let's just jump right in and do Matilda. Your book release, the first is The Earl Breaks Even, and it's book 3 in the Gambling Peers series. Can you tell us about this one?
Yes, it is the final book in my Gambling Peer series, and it follows my hero, Derek, who's an Earl, and his brother had gone to America at the end of the second book because he was brokenhearted, and he met a girl in Philadelphia, and they fell madly in love, and they decided to come home to England to get married, but her sister comes along with her, Mabel, and Mabel does not like this union, and neither does Derek. So Mabel and Derek plot together to separate their siblings, and they fall in love when that happens. They're very much enemies to lovers. They don't like each other at all. But as it will happen, they fell madly in love. But Mabel's also a divorcee. She was previously married to a French count, and he's not great either. So he shows up, and Derek.
Oh no!
Yeah, Derek has to come save the day, and yeah, and
read the book. Yeah.
Am I leading to the best tagline
ever after? So.
I love the tagline for this one. The enemy of my enemy is my lover. It's like, yes, I know exactly. Like, I'm so excited. You know, it's like, you know, this is going to be all kinds of juicy enemies to lovers working together for a common goal, which is not necessarily a goal that we want them to succeed at. I'm assuming because
No, of course not. And they both start off as unlikable characters. I admit to that 100%. They're not. They're very flawed, and they learn to figure out how to be better people, and each other make each other better people, or they both make each other better people. So
the dual arc is great too. Like it's when it's balanced and they both have to learn and they both have to grow to get to be whole. It's like I love that.
Yeah, and I have all 3 of my book babies with me. I'm so excited. I'm just gonna flash the camera really quick with all.
Oh, sure. Oh, they're gorgeous.
I just keep carrying them around with me all day, to the store. I'm like, oh, these? And they're like, okay, weird.
Just need a tote bag that you can just casually let them pop out at the top.
I have so much stuff in my tote bag that I just hand things out. I'm like, anybody need a bookmark? No? All right.
Just kind of subtly leave it laying in conspicuous spots, on counters
all over my town. I've left them in
yes, just blanket the area.
Yeah.
Quiet marketing.
Yes.
Begging to be in those little libraries, in the little.
I have them in my little library, and then I donate a copy to my Pike County, my big library, because they're so wonderful. We had the Milford Readers and Writers Festival this past September, and I was able to I hosted the panel for the historical romance, and it was really fun. So my library is wonderful. All libraries are wonderful, but they're very supportive.
They're wonderful.
Yeah, it was really nice to get to see a bunch of people. So.
Fantastic. Do you have plans for another series in the works, or do you know what you want to work on next?
My next series actually is coming out. My next book, I think, comes out in I want to say January 2nd, but I'm not sure. It might be the first week of January. But that is my Seduced in Scotland series. It's Victorian Scotland, so 1850s, I believe 1855.
Love
It's my first Scottish series that I've ever
read. Yay!
Very excited about it. Yeah, and it's about 3 sisters who a bunch of tragedy happens in one night. My main character Hope is sorry. Um, my my sisters are Hope, Faith, and Grace. And Hope, their grandmother passes away the same night that one of the sisters gets into a bit of a pickle, and then Hope's fiance kind of breaks up with her. So it's three horrible things happen at once, and they have to be whisked off to Scotland to live with their eccentric great aunt, who is maybe my favorite character in the whole series because she is a pip and always meddling and stuff like that. So she was a lot of fun to write.
I love characters like that.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun. So I'm excited about that one. And those covers, I did a cover release for the first one. It's very like old school, harken back.
Oh, I saw that one on Facebook. Yes, it's gorgeous.
I'm so in love. I can't wait to show the other ones. I'm too excited about it. I can't even.
No.
No such thing as too excited. That's the thing. It's not a thing. Well, awesome. There's more to look forward to then.
Yep.
So the next book that came out this week is Sandra Suko's book, and it's Dreaming of a Lion. And that's obviously a Lion's Den book. It's also Sandra's 180th book. I saw her post about that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like
I don't think she sleeps.
I don't think she sleeps either. But I love the way she celebrates her releases because she gets cake or she puts on a dress or she goes out for lunch.
Yes.
And I love because I think writing is such a solitary thing and we're so, introverted all the time that the idea of like getting to that milestone and going, this is worth marking, I think is a lovely thing.
Yeah.
I love seeing the pictures of the cakes, especially. So but I'll make sure I put the link for her book in the comments. So if you're a Lion's Den reader, you can grab that one too. And then the next book that came out today, and it actually came out the day we're recording this. There goes the kitty again.
Sorry,
we're gonna have to see her face if she's gonna.
Yes, hold on.
See her face.
Introduce her. We love kitties. Oh, look at that face.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She is precious.
Oh my goodness.
Very tiny. She's much smaller.
Oh, she is tiny. She's so beautiful.
I love her. She's gorgeous.
I love black and white cats. They're so cute.
Oh, she's lovely. But the next book that came out this week is Maeve's book, and it's Blessings Barren. And it's the first book in the 7 Unsuitable Sisters series.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about the book and really excited about the series. Can you tell us a little bit about both?
Well, even though it's 7 Unsuitable Sisters, it's going to be an 8-book series because the poor brother, he's one guy. He's got 7 sisters. So, he's already outnumbered, but he's the heir, he becomes the Duke, but he doesn't get all the money until every sister is happily married in a love match.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because the parents were very, very different for that time, that era. They indulged their children. They were a love match and they just adored each other. In fact, the father died 6 months after the mother died because he was just so brokenhearted. He just couldn't bear to be without her. So, but they wanted for all of their daughters and their son to know the joy of a love match. So that they put it in the will, and the solicitor is very determined that the will is carried out. And so Chance doesn't get, he's got his little allowance, which he doesn't like because he can't go to the gaming hills near as much, and he can't run off to the continent with his buddies, and he can't do this. He's pretty much, he doesn't have enough money now. So but every time a sister gets married for a love match, he gets a little bit more. His allowance goes up. So needless to say, he's nudging him. But the problem is all the sisters are very independent because they were indulged. Anything they were interested in while they were growing up, their parents indulged them. So Blessing, she loved the stars. So her father built her an observatory, and she studied astrology, and she's just really into it. She's not interested in going to balls. She'd rather be in her observatory. And in fact, that's how she and Thorn, he's a baron, Thorn Nightwood, that's how they meet, because Blessing's supposed to be at the ball looking for a husband, but instead she and her sister are outside, and she's looking up at the stars, and her eldest sister's trying to drag her back in to meet men. And Thorn is he is a rake, and he's trying to escape one of the ladies that he recently broke up with. So he runs across them, and he just can't believe the Blessing's just not impressed with him.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, because she just, when they've got nicknames. Blessing's pet name with the family is Essie, and Serendipity, the eldest sister, her pet name is Sari. So he hears them talking to each other as Sari and Essie, and so he says, "Well, Lady Essie," and she says, "You do not have the right to call me that. My name is Lady Blessing to you." And he just like, wow, what is wrong with it? It's like, but yeah. And so they kind of go from there. But he wears her down because he starts sending her notes and he visits her. And then she discovers that his mother, who has grown very hard of hearing, so he really kind of tries to take care of his mother. She loves cats. Well, Blessing loves cats, but she's never been able to have a cat because her sister has all these dogs that are all in the household. So he scores points when he shows Blessing the mama cat who had 3 babies in his office, and he's pampered them and brought them blankets, and they get
goodness
and everything. So, but his past, he's got a past, and he's got some issues because he decided he wasn't ever going to marry because his father was cruel to his mother. He would badmouth her, humiliate her in public. He'd have mistresses and parade them around. And his grandfather was the same way. So Thorn's just afraid, well, if I get married, I'm going to turn into one of these jerks, and I don't want to do that. So I'm never going to marry. So he would only fool with married women or widows who didn't want to remarry. But then along came Blessing, the woman who just didn't have time for him. And so now he's changing his mind. So, and that's, it's one of those, it's kind of enemies to lovers. And then she doesn't want to get married, but he's a reformed rake, and he's thinking, well, maybe it's not such a bad idea after all. But he's got and then his past comes back to bite him though. But that, because you got to bring them together, and then you got to tear them apart. You just,
Well, and that's a lot of stuff to play with, I mean, for her to trust that he means anything that he says would.
Because I mean, she's heard the rumors, and even her brother said he doesn't wet them, he beds them. That's all he does, So there's trust issues, and there's some spats and everything. But I'm loving writing this series because the dynamics of the family, everybody's meddling, and it's, how siblings are, they're constantly quarreling and picking at each other. But if anybody from the outside tries to pick at them, then they band together. And so, but I'm loving this series. The family is something else. So
fun. And there's nothing that motivates a hero faster than a heroine who tells him no.
Exactly.
Hearing it. So
men always want what they can't have.
And there are 8 books in this series. We get all 7 sisters, and then
we get the 7 sisters with their true loves, and then Chance finally he becomes the Duke, and more than in name only. And then of course, needless to say, he's on the marriage mark, but the one he's going to end up with isn't impressed with him either. So in fact, they used to fight as children all the time because she always thought he was spoiled. So yeah.
Fun. Well, there's a lot to look forward to there, Ben.
Absolutely. I'm loving the series, and I'm hoping everybody else will too.
So this is your second Regency series?
Yes. My first one only had 3 books. I got really brave with this one and went with 8 books. So, but it's a big family. It's kind of like that Netflix series and Cheaper by the Dozen combined. So
oh, I love Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah. So
so
that's the way I think of it.
It's like, who watched that one with the kids, and I was like, oh, please don't get any ideas. Please don't get any ideas.
No kidding. Yes, exactly.
No, oh, fun. And I know you perked up when Matilda said about writing in Scotland, because I know that was one of your first loves.
Oh, yeah. See, when I first started writing, it was always Highlanders and stuff like that. So especially when I see Dragonblade books that come out that have a Scottish hero, I got to pre-order that. So
Awesome. We have a little bit of time left over, since the other ladies weren't able to join us. And one of the things that we were talking about today, and we were actually really excited about Maeve's book, because it's the first book in a series, was the Dragonblade TikTok account. Mm-hmm. Because Juliana has been doing really fun things with the TikTok account, which it's fun to watch what she does. And I know, Matilda, that you do really, really cute things on TikTok as well. It's like every time I'm scrolling through, it's like, oh, I know that cover. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to take a minute and remind everybody to find your favorite authors and follow them. If you can't find them, you can find them on the Dragonblade account. We follow authors when we see them, so you can check and see who we're following and find your favorite Dragonblade authors that way if you can't find them on your own. And make sure you watch and see what's coming up there. But one of the things that happened this week is, because the whole Dragonblade team has been talking about TikTok all week, is that Sean, God bless her, got herself a TikTok account on her phone and has been sending videos. So we've been talking about like the ways you waste time on TikTok and the things that you end up looking for on TikTok. And so I wondered if you guys had specific things that you look for, things that catch your attention. What did, if we went to your FYP page, what would be showing up for you guys?
My current, because it changes like every 2 days of like what grabs your attention. So like just in the past 48 hours, I've been following green flag or red flag guy.
Oh, he's so fun.
He is, and I love the way he talks. He's like, oh my God. He gets so nervous.
And waves it.
Go. And then there's a finance guy who sits down and yells at people for spending erratically. And I just like showed my husband, and I was like, look at these people. They're out of their mind. My Amazon.
Yeah, I'm not mad at all,
I was like, I buy a couple books. I'm not like this, so you can't get mad at me. We could be on this. And he doesn't buy it, but those have been my two, just constantly, because you do waste so much time. Hours can pass, and it's
you have to set a timer.
That's a great idea, and I should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I make myself wait until I'm in the pickup line, or I'm waiting for something where there's an end time. Like I know
there you go.
Only go this long, because otherwise, the crocheting videos would eat my brain. Like I watch people crochet and I watch them make fall soups, and then I think, well, it would just be lovely to make fall soups. And I talked to Em about making fall soups. We can make fall soups this week. It would be great. And then we never cook.
There's another. I'm a bread baker too. I love all kinds of bread, but there's somebody who makes like pictures in their bread. So like when you slice it, it's like a perfect.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that's amazing to me.
Like 100, and I was like, should we do this for Thanksgiving? Do you want to do this for Thanksgiving? And she's like, you don't have time. And I'm like, you don't have time. So just arguing. But yeah, the bread one, I could lose days to the bread. Like
just watching them cut the patterns in them,
And I have bought like so many bread tools, like the slicer, which I can't remember right now, even though I swear to God I make bread. But I can't remember what it's called. But like the razor blade that you do the score. Yeah.
Yeah, the scoring on the top of it. Yeah.
I bought like 6 blades. None of them work as good as my one like bread knife, but that's the thing. I'm getting better. So
you'll get there.
Yeah.
Nice practice.
Yes, absolutely.
I think part of the lure is that, like, well, I don't know. I think a lot of us love doing craft kind of things, and then seeing different and Dragonblade authors in particular, I think are particularly crafty, because I've seen some of the things you all do. But I think that idea of I could do that. Look how it's like in 3 minutes she did this thing. It looks so, I could do that.
They make it
and then you try it.
It is not the same. It's not the same.
I tried once to make a bread video, but I don't know how to like make a cute video with just my phone and like how you snap the finger and everything's already done.
Yeah,
6 times. I'm
I've
so bad.
seen those like the makeup ones where they say, they don't have any makeup on, and then they go like this, and then they drop their hand, and
Yeah.
Can't figure
like,
that out. I
I'm
want
like,
to.
wow,
Wow.
I gotta take like a YouTube tutorial or something.
Yes.
I think that part
YouTube
of
can teach you anything. Hey, I fixed my kitchen sink from a YouTube video. So
did you really?
yes, I had to. My husband, he just had foot surgery and he couldn't work on it, and so I looked it up on YouTube. It showed how to change the pipe and the fittings and everything, and I got under there. And of course, he was hovering and with the flashlight, and I got under there and I did it, and I had my phone under there with me, and I'd play it a little while, and I'd pause it, and I'd do this, and I'd play it. So I'm telling you, YouTube and TikTok, you can just learn all kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's like the university of the internet.
And for as much as I grouch about social media and grouch about it, like the time sink that it ends up being, there is something really lovely about being able to find information on anything you want to know about. Because I remember when I was a kid, we had that Encyclopedia Britannica set, and that was a big deal. Like my dad saved to buy us this Encyclopedia Britannica set, and my girlfriend would come over, we'd do our homework, so we didn't have to go to the library because we had the encyclopedia. Like now, if I'm talking to something about the kids, and I say something I'm not sure, I can go look it up right away, and all the information is right there. And that's
Google it is the standard term in our house. If we don't know something, Google it.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure you get more than one source, though. Yeah.
Well, that's something I wish we had done a better job of. My middle son went to a STEM high school, and so finding the provenance of information was really important to them. And they had a whole class on how to cite their sources and how to trace back the information to where it came from and all that kind of stuff. And that is a big chunk that is missing in everybody else's education, I think, because if you're not taught to do it, especially those of us who didn't grow up with it,
Exactly. Yes.
If Walter Cronkite used to tell you stuff and you believed him because he said it on the TV, it's really hard to realize that everybody that says something on the TV or everybody that says something in video is not at the same level of credibility. And
just because it's on the internet or on TV doesn't mean it's true. So it's like,
I feel like we could do a better job of that.
I just got yelled at by my editor at the newspaper because I didn't cite my work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, because it was one of writing for multiple newspapers. So I'm brand new at it, and I sent it in, and he was like, "You have to cite this." I was like, "Oh, like high school? Oh no, like a real job? Okay." Like a joke. I cited it. I sent it along, but
but like when we get scared about AI, that's one of the scary things too. Is that it's learning from all the stuff, not just the credible stuff.
Not the truth.
And that all of that has gotten to be a bit more nebulous, which I think for fiction writers is particularly challenging.
Yes.
It's a little daunting to think about it when you're in a bad mood or in a sad mood, because you're like, oh my God, this is such a big thing. How are writers going to get ahead of it? But I don't. That one maybe keeps me up at night sometimes. The AI stuff, but
that I think one of the important things is to connect with readers on a human level. And I know that I personally love having a chance to talk with you all every week, because I get to learn little bits about your life. I get to meet your cats. I get to see you as people. And so then when I read your stories, there's like this little bit of extra layer, this little bit of extra connection, which I think is hugely important. And I think part of what we all want, because for as connected as we are to information, I think we're a little bit less connected to community. And so if we can be community for each other, I think that's lovely.
That human touch.
If it comes with a hot duke, that's even better,
There you go. Yep. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, ladies, it's been a joy to talk to you. We still have a few minutes left, so I want to make sure I that I take the time to remind everybody in to go look for the Dragonblade TikTok account and also to find your favorite authors. And we're having the Wraith at Midnight party is this weekend. Maybe you have a story in that collection,
Yep.
don't you?
Saturday. Yeah, I'll be in that event. I think I'm on there at the kickoff at 10.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yep, I'll be there.
What's your story about?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Why are you remembering what your story is about? That's the anthology that Maeve
Is Elizabeth, I think. No, A Regrettable Curse. His Elizabeth is in another anthology in January. It's A Regrettable Curse, and it's a Regency.
Oh,
and
fun.
it's a like an arranged marriage between different classes, and Grumpy Duke and bubbly Scottish lass, and
Oh,
some ghosts, some meddling ghosts that try to make things better, but it always makes it worse. And there's a ghostly cat too.
Oh, cool.
So
cool. I can imagine all kinds of trouble a ghostly cat. I love the Dragonblade anthologies because you get a taste of everything, and tons and tons.
I always buy them
for like 99 cents. It's not even what you pay for a bad cup of coffee, let alone a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
Well, that party is on Saturday, so make sure you'll be able to find the information on the Dragonblade Facebook page, and all the authors are gonna do a little time slot, with games and giveaways and fun things. So you want to make sure that you have a chance to connect with that. We're also doing starting at the end of this week, we have the novellas, the Halloween novellas from the previous collection are going to be free. So you'll be able to find those on the Dragonblade webpage. So you can read those. We have Haunted Cursed, Haunted Highland Mist. We have Haunted everything. There's like they haunted everything. They're Haunted Nights. I was trying to keep track of them in my head, and it was like Once Upon a Haunted Night, Once Upon a Haunted Curse, Once Upon a Haunted Highland Mist. I'm like, God, this is a lot of haunting we're doing here. But those are all free for just for 5 days. So you want to grab them right away. And then we're also releasing another set of novellas, another set of Halloween novellas that are again priced like a cup of coffee. You don't even have to think about it, and everything's in Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, read all the things you want to read. The problem is like reading fast enough that you don't fill up your slots before you get done. So, but I'll make sure that I pop the link for Wraith at Midnight, which is the anthology, in the comments of this chat with the other books, so that you can grab them. I'm going to say the same thing I say every week because it's true every week, which is that Dragonblade books are the best deal on pre-order and release. So you want to grab them right away. If you don't get them, you can read them in Kindle Unlimited. And I think that's it for this week. Ladies, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. I really do appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having us.
Loved it. Thank you and I liked meeting the kitty too.
I liked meeting the kitty too.
I don't know where she is. I'm surrounded by the dogs. So.
I always tell the authors when they worry about their kids or their cats or stuff, it's like Maeve's cats usually go right across the screen.
Yes, I know. I can't believe they didn't do it. It's like when you expect them to do it, they go, "No, we're not doing it."
Nothing humanizes you as fast as a cat.
Exactly.
All right, ladies. Thanks again for taking the time. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.